Here's a quick look at what's going on under the hood. As you can see, there's a whole lot of hose clamps here, and I'm not sure what's going on, but these radiators are not really set up to catch the air well. There's a fan in the front which is actually blowing the wrong direction, and all the hot air is just exiting right out the sides. So, all right, I tried to show you what was going on under the hood, but it's really difficult because it's cramped in there, and because of the way they wired the hood in, it's not easy to take it off because there's no plug or anything. So, but that's another discussion. Anyway, so here is what was underneath there. There's 4 of these chillers all lined up with about an inch gap in between and a fan on the front, no shroud. So what happens is the air blows in, it transmits some of the heat from the first one into the second one and so on. So one heats the other and so on. It also is up against the battery box, and there's a bunch of hoses behind the last one. So there's really no air flow through the last one at all. And so what's happening is the air is coming through, and each one of these offers resistance. So as the air would go through, a lot of it would come out the side. And by the end, there's no air at all. And so what was happening is the air is coming in and going out the sides and then coming back around. Unless you're driving, it might be going off to the side. But here's the cherry on top. This fan was connected correctly, but mounted backwards. It actually sucks. It's supposed to go on the back. So when this fan would come on, it would blow air this way instead of cooling at all. So you got to make sure you get the direction correctly. The other side of that is these types of fans with these, blades that are made to be really efficient and quiet, they work much better in one direction than the other. You can reverse them and they're okay, but they're not great. It feels like there's a 50% difference between going the proper direction and going backwards. Some of the ones have brushless motors and you can't run them backwards. You can only run them forwards. But I think this one is brushed, so we could probably run it both ways. But in any case, I wouldn't want to. So I'm already going to flip it around and put it on the back side of the radiator. The new radiator is a little bit wider and it's a little bit taller and it's twice as thick. And it will give us way more cooling than these just because it's mounted properly. The Jag already has a tunnel up front from the nose. And I've created a plate which I'll show you that fills that hole in, has the radiator mounted into it so that when you're driving, the air gets rammed through the radiator. And if you're sitting in traffic, then this fan will do its job to suck some additional air through. But it means that hot air can't just recirculate. It's going to have to go all the way outside the car before it can get up to the nose and get sucked back in. So it's probably going to keep pulling cool air, but it also means that when you're driving down the freeway, the mouth of that Jag is like a shark, and it's also in a high pressure area. So the air is just going to ram in there and keep this thing cool. So that's the fix for this one because it was having an overheating problem, and that was a major reason, but also this was just not the way to do it. Here's a shot of the new radiator installed, and on this next shot, here it is with the fan. This should catch plenty of air and do the job. That wraps up this little piece on the radiator and cooling. So if you have any suggestions, put it in the comments. Otherwise, please like and subscribe. And I have added Buy Me a Coffee so I can hire someone to do the edits so I don't have to do them myself. Till next time, ciao!